Okay, here's the long-awaited video for the Bedini motor in action. And so what I'm going to do here is show you first what's different about this. And the difference is that this coil, it's a bifilar coil, and it has a magnetite core. So it's 950 turns of number 20, number 24 wire, and it's covered very well in one of my other videos. You can just check that out there. This is the one that I thought would work and didn't work. It has neodymium magnets on it, and I just couldn't get it to work. I don't know if it was the magnetite core or what, but eventually I believe I will find out. But for right now, all I know is I changed it to, went to Harbor Freight and picked up these, 2 for 99 cents. And what I did was I had put them on this way, standing straight up, and it didn't work. And all the others, I noticed that they used about half the size of this magnet. So I put a piece of tape on here, and I took a Dremel and took it outside. Believe me, you don't want this mess in your house of magnet dust. But I took a Dremel and I just cut them in half. And here they are. They're mounted here on, here's the mounting. And as you can see, they're cut down. And there they are right there. And I have 4 of them spaced on here. And they're mounted to the coil here by way of, you see the video on the Bedini circuit. And of course I use the old Daft Man. Okay, now another thing that's different, you'll see different on this one, is that I put a second coil on it. I mounted a power coil. Now this coil also has a magnetite core. Normally, if you spin a magnet, positive, negative around it, I could get about 8 or 10 volts out of it. But now remember, this one has all north facing it. So, and of course, most people would expect that, oh my goodness, you're going to put a load on there, you're going to put that magnet on there, and hey, it's not going to, this isn't going to work, it isn't going to turn. Well, the magnetite core has reduced the lens effect on this, and I think you'll be surprised to see what this thing here does. Okay, so what we're going to do is, I have 2 batteries here, and the one on the left, that's my primary battery, and right now it's sitting at 12.75 volts. My charge battery is this battery right next to it, and it is sitting at 12.76. Now, we are going to go a little bit further here, and I have this meter here. This meter is on this coil, which is hooked into a full bridge rectifier, and then it comes over to the meter. Of course, there's nothing there, it's not moving. Alright, now, little kicker here is that, of course, this isn't going to prove anything, not too much, because it doesn't have a load. Oh, yes, it will. Okay, here's what I did over here. Now you're going to see part 2 of what I've been working on. Here are my crystal cells. Now, I have these crystal cells, and what I did was I hooked them all up in series, and I took a let me get it here, put it over here. This is what I have. This is an off-stable multi-vibrator, and of course it blinks 1 and 2, blinks on and off. And normally when I run this, it takes, we're looking at about 3.2 volts to run this. It's set up with 2 transistors, etc., etc. I'm not going to get into that, but I just wanted to let you know that it does have an overhead on it. I put one. These are the same thing. They're the off-stable multi-vibrator, but I put them inside these cups to protect them a little bit. They are a little bit fragile. So I put them in the cups. And I have 4 of them on here. And of course, on the crystal cells here, I have a voltage regulator that regulates it down to 3.2 volts. So it doesn't matter what it's getting, it'll get 3.2 volts, providing, you know, it's getting supplied, I would say, a good 4.5 volts. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And those are 4 off-stable multivibrators. We're talking about 8 transistors here, 8 capacitors, you know, the whole 9 yards. Okay, now let's see if we can't make some sense out of all this, because I'm not going to try and tell you what's going on. I'm not an electrician or any of that, but I am learning a little bit here. Okay, so let's go on. I've hooked up the primary battery is not hooked up, but the charge battery's all hooked up here, as you can see on the output. The only thing it's lacking here is the run battery, the positive. Okay, and that's the last thing you want to hook up, or else you'll be replacing a 3055. Okay, I'm going to hook this in. Okay, she's all wired. Okay, now all I have to do here is just give this a little spin. Okay, well, maybe a little bit bigger than that. Okay. Okay. She's a turning. I don't know if you can see it. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of crank her a little bit. Play with this potentiometer here. Alright, and it's going a little faster. Now, the reason it's so slow is because what we have here is this power coil here is putting a load on it on top of the load here. And as you can see, the voltage that's being put out is climbing. And what I'm going to do is, we got to get this thing spinning, but it takes its time because this is we're talking a little Bedini motor here now. Come on, people, it doesn't take much to stop them. Okay. Okay, now we're going to be cranking here. You can see the power going up. This is the power that's going to here. Okay. Now remember, we have a charge battery.